this group?
Not me. You.
Oh, yeah. I thought for some reason I thought you were left-handed.
No, right-handed. I'm a normie.
All right.
Wait. I want to say something. Snapper, have you ever talked about Vincent Van Gogh on the podcast?
I might have cracked on him once.
Okay, I was because I thought your opinion on him was funny.
I don't think any of us know that.
What's your opinion of Vincent Van Gogh?
Well, I thought it was a hack.
Damn, dude.
Just drop the ass.
What you if that pussy walked around and he goes, "Step, what's up?"
What about that one dude?
Shit, dude?
What about that one dude who drew?
Look,
like,
I'll put it this way: like, go
He
to a
walks,
museum.
I'll be Vincent Van Gogh. What's up, man? Heard you be talking shit. My buddy Rick told me about what you were saying, man. Talking shit behind my back, man.
Oh yeah, I saw Starry Night. It was great, Mr. Van Gogh. And I also saw a painting next to it that was photorealistic before photographs even existed, and they painted it with berries.
Damn, dude. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Boo-hoo! You cut your ear off? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure you have problems with your fucking life.
Say why you don't like him. It's funny.
What's that one painter? That one dude who makes faces look like
Picasso.
Fucking Picasso. I hate Picasso.
I don't like.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like Van Gogh and Picasso, they all went through phases of what they did.
I think
so. You can't
Picasso-
totally hate it. And truthfully,
They all started with,
He's
like,
a creator,
very-
so I cannot
Really?
say that I really hate
As
Van
far
Gogh.
as art goes, I think Picasso.
I hate Jackson Pollock. I'll say that much.
Maybe Picasso has maybe two pieces I think are good because it looks like he put effort into it, but for the most part, I mean,
If it
in
were
my opinion,
Corey, if he uploaded his picture to the New Gods art portal, what would you review? What would you leave him? What would
be
you
like
score him?
0, nice creativity.
Wait, what about that guy who did the camel soup?
I'd be like, oh, how cute. Are you pulling off a fucking, what's his name? Are you pulling off a Tim Schafer look?
He'd respond and be like, too long, get a read, LOL. What do you think?
What about the dude who did the Campbell soup and the Marilyn Monroe shit? What was his name again?
Andy Warhol.
Yeah, he was kind of shit.
He was the first
He was
meme
interesting.
maker, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know.
He just
Why is the
copied
Campbell
other
soup
people's shit
interesting?
and then recolored it.
Because it was presented in a way that you've never seen it before.
Why can't
Jackson
I go-
Pollock holds the record for the most expensive painting ever sold.
Really?
And he's up there, and it's one of those bullshit fucking splatter paintings, and I can't
Oh, it's one
stand
of
it.
those ones? Oh, I hate those ones. Fuck
You've
that.
never heard of Pollock before?
No.
I know I'm gonna get crucified for this, but the dude was a fucking hack. And
No,
then he
if it's one of
died
those
as
splatter
an
things that he-
alcoholic, and I'm glad.
It's like the Art Attack logo. Fuck that.
They have like art museums where they glue hair to cheese and they're like, it's realism.
It's realism.
It's emotion. I just had to let my emotions out.
I heard something that really stuck with me. It's like, I think art went from like expression plus talent to just expression.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anybody can express themselves. It doesn't make you a
That
fucking
fucking
artist.
interior semantics.
It's
Have you
not
seen a girl standing on
expression.
pies.
Yeah.
That's
It's
art.
doing something, and then somebody else like perceives.
Actually,
Painting a photorealistic landscape with creativity and weirdness put into it, that's art.
I saw. Oh,
Hanging a tire from a different tire is not art.
I actually think Free Bleed McGee is really one of my favorite artists. She's that one chick who bleeds on things.
Oh yeah, the SpaghettiOs chick, right?
I saw this video.
She's a good artist.
It's supposedly
Realistic.
art. It was 3 naked people rolling around a crowd of people, and they had to like hold them up while they were like going around. And
Yeah, I
these
saw
people-
that. It's
these people in the
Katamari
audience-
Damacy.
These people in the audience didn't know what was going on. Just naked people had their ass in their face, and they're like, Jesus Christ, that was art for some reason. They were just rolling down
I think
the thing.
anyone calls everything art because, like you said, expression.
Expression is
People-
not art.
Well, that
I don't
people
think so.
I'm sure there's a school of people that argue otherwise.
Do you remember?
I feel like
I
it's
agree with you, Zach.
it's a crapshoot. It's like rolling dice. Like Zach, you could dip your hand in a bucket of black paint and then just whip it at a canvas, and then just wait for somebody to say, "Oh, that really speaks to me," and then you can sit and bullshit them for a couple hours and be like, "Here's what I was thinking about." But truthfully,
It was a metaphor for
you whip
racism in the
black
United
paint.
States.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can literally fucking add a million things to it.
See all these black dots? Those are all the African Americans that aren't getting their just cause.
And I also think that the people who think that they're good are all like bullshitting themselves because they want to seem like they're higher up than other people. They're just
were
snobs.
to part of the
Go to eBay, type in painting, and then sort it from highest price to lowest price, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about.
I could sit
I was
in-
about to say that. I would be like,
It's
you know
all
what,
splatter
artists?
paintings. Dudes asking buy it now price for $5 million.
I could, like,
just
say-
waiting for
I
it.
could sit my bare ass in paint and then sit on a canvas and say like it's a beautiful
You
butterfly.
could do what that
People
one
like-
guy does and pump paint up his ass and spray it out on canvas.
Someone does that? Well, that one up me.
And there's the other dude that like ties wires to his back and then he covers his whole body with paint and just swings into canvases like Spider-Man, and then he sells those. It's bullshit. bullshit. It's complete
I'd probably buy one of those.
bullshit.
You ever seen those side by sides where it's like?
Granted, it's not that it's not creative, but it's still bullshit.
It's still bullshit. It's
give
not
me a
like
break.
yeah. There's no expression. That's literally what it is. He swung his body in a
You
thing.
ever see those side by sides where it's like, was this done by a famous artist or a 5-year-old? It's like they put the side by sides. It's like,
That sounds
because they
amazing.
think like a 5-year-old. I think there was like a couple years ago. There was a 5-year-old who was like throwing paint on a canvas and it was selling for a fucking lot of money.
They did that in New York. There was
Yeah.
like that abstract museum, and then they intentionally did that where they got a bunch of finger paintings from first grade kindergarten students, and they hung them all up, and then all these art critics went there, and they were like, "Oh, I love the use of color," but it was children that did them.
Exactly. That's my point. It's exactly it. They don't know what they're talking
You
about.
think like the dudes at like ratemypoop.com, like they actually
That is art.
they carried in a turd in a duffel bag or in a plastic container. I get those confused. And they went to one of the art people and they were like, "Here." They showed them. And there's like googly eyes implanted. I remember a turd that was rated 10 had googly eyes and was looking back at you. Do you think he presented that turd to an art place and they gave him $4 million for
You know,
it?
Corey, it's fucked up, but I honestly think if you gave a petrified turd with googly eyes to an art museum, they'd put it up.
They would.
Not
think
only
so.
that, but I have.
Because it's art.
I don't
It's
think
real.
I don't think I've told the story before. but-
Realistically, when a poop comes out, it's looking back at you. That's the only thing it sees. It's looking up. It's not looking down. It's looking up. So you wash it away.
It's a metaphor for the poor looking up at society, man.
Some lady got like sued because she was like a janitor at an art museum and she threw a bunch of garbage into a trash can and the artist was like, "That was art!" and it just like got her in trouble.
What the fuck?
So there is a village in Germany, Kleve, Germany, and you can look at the whole thing's built on a hill and there's a castle at the top. And this whole village, Kleve, is famous for an artist that they had. It's one of the things they're famous for. They had an artist that was very famous there, and he got so pissed off that everybody loved his work. No matter what he did, everybody would say, "Oh yes, amazing, amazing," and they'd come. And he got so pissed off at it, he was like, finally, he just pooped in a box, and everyone fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Not only did they love it,
So
They put googly eyes on it.
they should have. If you go to the castle, it is the centerpiece of the museum of the floor that
That
is
is literally-
dedicated to him.
it's like the-
It is literally the biggest FU to himself
Yeah.
that he could have possibly
That's what
done.
I'm saying. That's why art works and that's why comedy works. The first rule of comedy is people always laugh at, and they're always receptive of things that they've never seen before. That's why things are funny. That's why it triggers in your mind.
It's
you do
also-
something, never mind a meme. A meme is funny or something random is funny the first time you
I was
see
gonna say,
it.
I feel like art people see that and try to be artificially random.
Right.
They
Yeah.
try to be artificially creative and say, "Oh, I'm gonna."
But they're still missing the point. It's
Right,
all something
exactly.
you've never seen before. It's like there was another gallery in New York that the centerpiece pieces was a pig's head. They cut off the head of a pig and they put it in a confined acrylic box. And the art piece was watching the pig's head rot and just you gather bugs and do all that. And every time you went back and you saw it, you would just see the pig head rot. And it's something that nobody's seen before, but that's art. And people paid astronomical amounts of money to see a fucking pig head rot in a box. But it's all something that nobody's seen before. That's all it is. And it works with a lot of stuff.
Well, I was going to say that's probably why if you look at the paintings that are most expensive, they're the ones that look just like random ass bullshit. Because if you have a painting that looks like something else, your mind can comprehend what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And you might even be able to put a value on that. But if you're looking at paint splatters or some like weird abstract piece of shit, because you don't quote unquote understand it, you try to fill in the blanks, and all of a sudden the worth of it is so much.
Because whatever
undefinable.
Well, I'll tell you,
in terms of its worth.
it's almost like a self-appreciation. It's like you assign it
Exactly.
your own worth, so you're kind of assigning yourself that price.
The more you
Your
care about this
interpretation.
random piece
Right.
of thing, the more you're equivocating
You're
it to your own
really
value.
paying for your own opinion,
Exactly.
though, right?
You are
I mean, it's
paying
like,
for your own
this
opinion.
is what I feel it is, and I feel this is the best example, and this is what I know what I mean.
I
So-
want to hold a focus group for paintings. I want to show one painting and then bring 20 people in and say, write your honest opinion down on this piece of paper. And every opinion, it's going to be a fucking travesty at the end of it because nobody's
And
going to
the-
have the same.
And that's what they're capitalizing on. That's the
Right.
people. They know what they're doing, and they're saying that's the art. I'm sure that they would say, well, that's the point. Is that people interpret differently?
No, what they're saying is you just don't understand it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and if you pay enough money, then
What's
you
funny
do.
too is a lot of sometimes you'll even have the artist be like, somebody will see a painting like, oh, it's a metaphor for all the Jews killed in the Holocaust. It's like, no, it was drawn an apple.
It's like one of of those
different angles.
It's like one of those
Something-
bullshit movies that has like an ending that's just open to
Ambiguous.
interpretation.
Yeah.
So
It's
everyone's in forums like, no, it meant this. It's like, oh, you're
Again,
so stupid. It meant this. Oh no, you're stupid. It meant this. And
It's
it just keeps
easy
going.
to pander to people's personal because like if you read a book, it's like you imagine what the main character looks like. It's the best version in your head.
Right.
So it's a really kind of an easy way to get out of things. I think the unambiguous ending or the left to interpretation endings are always really lazy because it's like literally it's what the person wants to be. The artist is so terrified that they're not good at their job that they're like, oh, you decide, man. Oh fuck, I'm not.
Right.
I don't want to write it. I'm a writer.
I think there are cases where, like, if you've set it up right, I feel like there are times where it's
Maybe it
okay.
could be kind of fun and
Yeah.
playful, but if it's so lazy, it's just like I don't know. You decide.
So last thing, do you think when I see an amazing painting done by somebody in fucking 1824, I look at it in a technical way, but most people don't respect it. They're upstairs looking at all the contemporary art. I'm looking at it in this way, but it's something that everyone's seen before, so they don't care about that.
Definitely. Well, it's the other problem too is like they look at it. Okay,
They see like these amazing marble statues before like anyone really knew how to carve marble, and you're like, wow. Nobody I know in this entire lifespan could ever carve a human statue out of marble with that kind of detail.
Precision.
In fairness, though,
want- it's-
they became what's it called, like, not interns, but what's the word when someone takes them on to do to help them out?
Apprentice?
Apprentice, yeah, they became them when they were like 14, and that's all they did until they were 20 something.
It's still amazing work, but
It's
people
amazing.
always look at it at like the corner of their eye and they just walk past it.
Well, it's because they know what it is, right? They can say, okay, this is this person's skill level. This is this person. This is how long it probably took them. This is what it looks like. Da, da, da. But if you walk up, it's pretty. Basically, it's self-masturbation. That's what people are pandering to these days. It's self-masturbation. It's you projecting your own opinions and whatever you want it to be.
Like it actually matters.
Oh, I was gonna say, when I look for art, the things I'm looking for in art is two things. Either a half-naked girl, or the art is like, it's a path, but it's like a unique kind of style. Like there's that one art piece where it's like the path is constantly going up, but it tricks your eyes into thinking it resets.
In Escher? That was in Escher.
Oh,
Yeah,
Escher,
that
he
stuff.
was
That
good at
stuff to me is really cool. So something that
MC,
you look at
yeah.
that fucks with your vision, like something that if it like you look at a dot in the middle and then like you can see shit other than that. In my opinion, that kind of art is.
Are you
something
talking
I
about
really
optical
want.
illusions?
Yeah.
It is fun art, though. That to me is cool.
fun.
I would actually rather have a piece of optical illusion
That's what
art
I'm
in my
saying.
house.
You're talking about like on Facebook where it's like
Yeah.
stare at the
fucking
dot.
Yes. I
Look-
want
and then
that
look at
on
the
my
green
wall.
square. Yeah.
I want that on my wall with a naked girl next to it. It's perfect. It's like this keeps your attention and this keeps your attention.
Or she's clothed, and then when you look at the dot, and then look at her.
That
again,
would be
she's naked.
perfect. That would be a
Titties are shaking.
perfect.
Corey, put the dot in her pussy, dude. It's both.
No, what I mean.
Invent that, Corey.
You could do
Look at
that,
that to put all over
and then
titties.
like since it like makes your vision all fucked up, you like look at her and then her titties are twisting and it's like kind of like
No, what I'm saying is for the kids out there, hey kiddies, if you want to have nudie pics up in your house,
Okay.
you can do some cool optical illusion stuff where like you have to stare at like a green dot for 5
really
seconds,
hard to do that.
and then look at the picture, and you'll see this beautiful
Pussy
naked
ovulating.
thing,
Ovulating.
naked guy, girl, whatever you like. What do you think?
Let's
do it.
I'm saying
If you just walked into the room, your parents would never know. They'd have to be staring at green and red dots.
To go back a couple.
yeah,
gonna
get
$1
art.
a dot in the pussy.
Thank you.
Get art, so you need a fucking decoder ring to enjoy it.
That's right.
Next question.
we need to go on to the next question.
All right. So next up from
How does
Potato.
the decoder ring work with a dot pussy? Go on.
Because you put the label on and it tells you which picture to look at because it matches
called
up
a
with the green
clitoris.
dot. Anyways,
All right, boys.
Yes.
B Biscuit asks, "What's an easy-to-learn, hard-to-master aspect of animation?"
oh, there's a new one.
Easy to learn, hard to master.
Easy to learn.
I would say this. I would say all of the principles of animation in general. There's probably 5 or 6 things that you really need to know when you're animating. It's easy to learn what those are and know what those are and know you have to do those.
But applying them.
But to actually apply those in unison like a nice dance is super hard.
Here you go. Keyframing. People think like, yeah, you can do keyframing simple. You get to the first point to the last point, but there's a lot of stuff you kind of have to know
There's a lot
in
of moving
between.
parts moving at different rates.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's
It's
everyone has a different method of animating.
Yeah.
Like everyone in this room right now animates in a very different way, so you can't say that it's hard.
Well, it was hard for me.
When
to-
somebody's asking,
Well, it's
they're,
hard for
they're
me
looking
to
for
learn
a
that.
direction in that, and there is no direction because everybody does things their own way. If I opened up one of Zach's files, my mind would be blown, and vice versa, and to anyone else in this room. Everybody does things very differently. It's all about your bottom line and how you want to get it out.
You will find your own way of doing stuff. I would just say feel it out. Look at everything you have and try to apply it your own way, and you'll find your own formula. You'll find, oh, this way works. I click with this way.
And I was just talking about Flash too.
Yeah, exactly. Flash too. So
there's other programs and
other programs.
methods.
You could do CG. You could do puppet animation. You could do tweeting. You could do frame by frame. You could do limited frame by frame. You could do a million different things.
Stop motion.
For me,
Stop motion. Yeah.
So for me though, it was keying and getting that down. For me, because they asked what is hard, and for me it was getting keys and following through with the keys, because you put a key and then you go through with it. But for me, there was always like I had to learn how many frames would go in between that, or if I wanted to exaggerate certain things, and then sometimes I would change the keys or add in more keys because I didn't like how those keys were laid out.
What I tried to do, and this is what I try to do in general now with animation, I think it's the easiest thing to do, is it's really easy to get carried away and do things straight ahead and do kind of micromanage everything. But what I do is I do keyframes. I divide it more and more and more. So maybe the end of this animation has 50 frames, but I start off with 2. So I do keyframe, then I put one in the middle there, then a breakdown. Then I put ones between those, then I put ones between those, then I put ones between those. So it's I kind of happen constantly.
Well,
it's
actually,
like a cell dividing.
Now for me, it's kind of like what I do is, since I'm doing like game development, so I'm doing characters constantly, I have full bodies to work with, but I have them kind of not in a T-shape like bullshit 3D, but just in their standard stand position, and I pretty much take their area of perspective and I work within that area. So if they're punching, I take their static position and I draw them punching over that, kind of like that's the overlay for me. And if they're like surprised or anything, I use the original static position, and that's pretty much how I do keys. And it retains the same shape, so you don't get that wonky off the shape things because you have your original thing you were following. You were just moving with that. And I do that a lot for animation now. Like if I have a key, I'll work within the key. I'll take the head, and if the head's supposed to be looking up, I'll draw within the head if he's looking forward. But I just know the perspective is looking up, so I kind of got to figure out.
And then you
chin
adjust
shape.
the body later if you have to compensate for that. But you
Exactly.
have the body there as a reference. The
That's
original.
kind of what onion skinning is, though.
Yeah, it's like
bit.
you set an onion skin layer, and fucking Jeff has completely warped my way of animating. I'll be honest, in a good way. Before it used to be more like really freehand.
Wait, where is Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
On his way here, he didn't honk his horn like he's supposed to because it's kind of like the uniformal rule when
And
you drive
the
a
Jeep guys
Jeep.
fucking rode off the road
They
like Mad
fucking
Max,
crashed
dude.
into him. They all
Being chased
rolled him
in-
off the
yeah.
street.
Jeep guys beep at each other?
Basically, if you don't honk your horn or wave at them or, acknowledge other J people when they wave at you, they will fucking hunt you down
They
and kill
recognize you too.
Yeah,
But is that actually a thing, like that they do honk at each other?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's why
he's recording Evo right now
yeah. He's
in his
TiVoing
underwear.
Evo. He's TiVoing Evo.
with a sweatband on. Next question. W. Bollendorf asks, what complications have you run into over the course of season 1 of Sleepycast, and how have you overcome them? Examples given, technical issues, scheduling conflicts, etc.
I would say, I don't know if we've overcome. I feel like we've gotten better at not fucking up as much. I feel like the biggest thing, a lot of people don't hear themselves talk a lot.
Yeah.
So when you first hear yourself, it took me a couple podcasts to kind of talk slower and talk more, be more clear.
Concise, yeah.
And it's also a lot of people also have little quirks or say a certain word a bunch of times literally or something, whatever it is. And you go, oh fuck, and you try to correct it. So I think that was the most interesting thing, is kind of listening to yourself talk and going, oh god, that's what I sound like, and trying to be more concise and stuff.
And also a new thing that we do that, just so everyone's on the same kind of page, is that I'd edit it. I'd do a kind of one edit, and then I'd send it over to Stamper or Chris or someone or Mick to just refine it. That hopes
It's a process. It's like a Model T line, right? It's
I think one of the biggest complications you run into, especially when the group gets bigger and bigger, is talking over each other, and that was something that we still work on.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've done a pretty good job considering the amount of people that are in the podcast talking, and just our personalities. So I think that was definitely one of the bigger.
First 4 episodes, I didn't know what to fucking act like, because it was just weird putting a microphone in front of you for the first few.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as being on camera. The first few times, it's ugh, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And
Yeah.
you just get used to it and you just act normal.
Was that it as far as complications? I feel
You've
like
had more.
hiding that shit, but we figured it out.
I think, definitely, we've had some. There have been times where, if I could spill the secrets after all these months, there was episode 5, The Rogue Fingerer. We did that entire Christmas versus Halloween debate, and it deleted.
Yeah.
So the one you hear was we were all defeated. Stamper walked out. We were all just like, "Oh my god!"
That was so
An hour was
frustrating.
gone, and Stamper came back with some beers. He was like, "Let's just do this again, man."
Yeah, and then it was so funny because we're so calm. We're like, "Oh man, we're so defeated." And then Stamper goes, "Anyway, fucking quit!" And like, it just went right back into
So
it.
that whole debate we pretty much already had, but I think we added enough to it to where it felt organic and really good.
Well, see, yeah.
But so if you listen to whenever Stamper, whenever I remember the exact point, it was whenever with the audio cut up, whenever I was talking about Easter or something, and Stamper was like, "Anyways, Christmas." I think we actually made up a user. I think we made up a person who asked the question. I think we made up a fake person. Everybody asked that question. Oh, because I'll tell you what happened was I was talking about Easter. It just very naturally went into Christmas and Halloween, but we had to come back to it. I was like, I can't remember how we segued to it.
Right.
So we said, okay, this person asks, which is better? That person doesn't exist. So there's
I didn't even know
there's a
that.
secret.
Really
There's-
spilling the beans, Zach.
Yeah, there's
We're
a
in deep
skeleton.
waters now, Zach.
There's a skeleton on our claws. That
Well,
person.
while we're here, why don't we just let it all hang
Yeah,
out?
God.
It feels so good to have that off my chest after all these
I
months.
know. But
Editing that Halloween podcast was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, why?
that
Is that
one
why
for
it was
you,
so
though?
short?
Yeah, it was like a lot longer, but it got like, so we were all sitting around here, and then fucking, it got to the point where no one knew what to do, and we were all improvising, and it got really stressful. And then Jeff literally like left, so then we wrote that into it where he got lost, and then we started killing off people, and that's why we started killing off people, was because Jeff left, and we just decided to do that. And then I had to fucking rearrange all the portions of that podcast to like flow naturally,
Yeah.
and I had to fucking put in all the sound effects, and that was a fucking.
I think that's one of the complications. I mean, it seems obvious to us that editing is a big part of it, but I think there are certain people that have a misconception that it's basically just we just word vomit and then print it, go.
No.
And that
But I have to give Corey props because at first he was all the ones with Corey in it were so difficult to edit, but now he's so like calm and knows what
job,
to do.
Corey.
You're a good boy, Corey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think eventually though, because a lot of people have been asking you, what kind of improvements would you like to make? I think eventually I think a good actual proper mic setup would be when we each have a
Yeah,
microphone
well, we
at
got
some
two
point.
right now.
I think for
Yeah, we started off with one, so.
Yeah, I think if we get to the point where we all have our own microphones, we all have a good audio quality, we don't have interference in the background. So I mean, that's a point we'd like to get to. I'd like more. Obviously, people have asked for this too, but I'd like more commercials, more written stuff, kind of fun, improvised.
Yeah, I would love that. That would definitely add to it.
Yep, that's a plan. That's definitely a plan.
when we do revisit this in the future fall, I really feel like you will hear it. People think like, oh, it's going to be reimagined. It's like, no. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to take the time to regroup because, I mean, to be honest, this all happened so fast. The
just kinda
Patreon happened, and like within 2 months, we met like fucking 6 goals. So it was just like, oh, okay. And none of us, everyone already had full-time jobs, so we had created all these issues already. And I feel now with this new season, we can buy the shit we need. We can prepare ahead of time. So none of this, oh, Friday, sorry, no, Saturday, maybe Tuesday. None of this kind of stuff where we'll be kind of leaving. It'll be out every Friday at a time, which we will have an actual time frame when we do it again. So everyone
I
can
would
expect
love
it within
that.
a certain time.
And also, I think something else. I would say don't consider the air quotes season 2 of this podcast to be like a reboot or like a reimagining.
It's not a reboot.
It's just what this should have been from the beginning. This kind of just we get the pilot. It's like I guess we just do it like this from now
It's
on.
like a trial. It's kind of like a trial.
not a
It's trial and
reboot,
error.
it's a
So this is kind of like
reorganization.
okay, this is what we did
Calling
wrong.
this like a pilot season.
Pilot season, very long pilot that went on for 8 months. Yeah.
What is that? 2 hours times 30?
Oh, it's even more than that because
Lost
of all the lost
episodes.
episodes
Yeah.
too. I think there's almost 100 hours of
Oh my
of
god!
podcast.
How many days is
Rambling.
that? That's like 4 days.
I think there is. If it's not 100, it's 75 or 80. I mean, it's a lot.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's
Next
way up
question.
there. Next question. Super Dookiness asks, do you think that traditional animation will ever make a comeback to the big screen? That's a really...
If you're talking about a TV show film adaptations like a Family Guy movie, a Simpsons movie,
No. I think they're asking...
Like Disney.
Is there going to be another Lion King?
I'd like to think, but I don't think immediately. No.
Yes, and we'll make it.
Underground, yes. Mainstream, though.
Yeah, I don't think Disney. Maybe you'll get like a weird one here and there or
You
something.
get that 3D 2D shit.
It's so
Yeah,
much.
I don't think it'll be full on 2D. I feel like you get like what's that one, Paperman or whatever. it's called?
Paperman, yeah,
You'll
that.
get something like that. You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see full on 2D.
Studios are trying to produce content, and
Right.
they're going to do it as
Yeah.
efficiently as possible.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Like drawing
It's
every
too
single
costly,
frame is
dude.
too complicated. While you can have a model that you can move around is much more practical and easy.
Traditional animation, it's really charming, but at the same time, as much as I respect it,
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
it is
absolutely.
very
Grueling.
Time consuming.
It's incredibly time
And
consuming.
grueling.
I'll say this, right? I
Grueling
love
and painful.
2D. I'm a fan of 2D. I'd love to see it come back, but I completely understand why it left. If I was the head of a company, I would have done the exact same thing. I think any
Well, the
animator
bottom
would-
line is you're trying to put
trying
out
to run a
something
company,
animated.
Well,
trying to get
Those new
cut.
Mickey Mouse shorts, Disney.
Here's
did.
the-
I
And the
love
company,
those.
Me too.
Here's the thing, though, where 3D has gone, in my opinion, there is stuff that's a little but there's also stuff that's very impressive. Like Sony Animation Studios, which did like Hotel Transylvania and
Is that
Cloudy with a Chance. Yeah, it's great. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
The way it's animated is exactly like a traditional cartoon.
Yeah.
It's very
I've actually
stretched.
seen the smears and
Exactly.
and you can see like some of the what's the other thing? Smears and
Yeah.
Watch and stretch.
No, where you see like multiples.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Smears, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You can actually see them, but in 3D.
They do that.
Yeah.
They
Who's doing the Charlie
Transylvania
Brown?
was the
Who's doing
same
the new
way.
Peanuts movie?
Oh yeah, I saw that in the trailer.
That new
Yeah.
Peanuts movie looks really fucking
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
It's super
And that
Popeye
stylized.
trailer as well looked great.
Yeah, like the Peanuts one had like little black
Except
lines.
Popeye,
on
he
it.
looked like a little like hipster douchebag. Like he completely
Yeah, he-
lost everything that made him a man, and now he looks like a
they-
fucking
he looked like a
24-year-old.
little boy.
Apparently their defense was it was a prequel story about how he got turned into Popeye.
My honest opinion, though, it feels more like he can't be smoking a fucking like wicker pipe, and he definitely can't be having tattoos. And
Yeah,
kids.
that
He was a sailor. You fucking.
Not anymore.
You're
This is the kind.
savage,
This is the
Jab.
kind of
You
stuff.
Jab
that-
2015.
Yeah.
Corn
done.
cob.
Corn cob.
What
pie.
did I say? Wicker pipe? Same.
Yeah.
They're not making it
same
anymore,
thing.
anyways.
So basically,
That's
I
what
feel
they
like
have,
their 3D is intricating traditional animation stuff into its department, and I do feel like what it was before, it's kind of experimenting. You get a lot of really experimental 3D stuff now, and I do think 3D is a good medium as well when it's done right. I do think 3D can be lazy when it's done
I'll say
a certain
this
way.
too. I feel like there's almost a parallel to be said about 2D and traditional props and stuff. Mm-hmm. There was a dry period in both film, like where 2D died and 3D took over completely for cartoons.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, there's also a point where traditional props and stuff died out completely again. CG took over.
Yeah.
And I feel like now people are going, okay, you kind of exhausted what
That's
you can do
true.
both.
Yeah. No.
So now you've
seen a reintroduction of
traditional
like,
stuff,
of practical
props,
effects
practical
and
effects,
actual props.
absolutely. And
That's
so
true.
I think you can kind of seeing a good balance of that kind of reemerging. Maybe not fully. I don't think it's ever going to be fully back where it was in the
Yeah.
80s and 70s and 80s and 90s and stuff. But I definitely feel like 2D is probably going to come back a little bit. Like
It'd be used within 3D.
it'll be done differently, but it'll be back in a way. And I feel like same thing with traditional props.
It's fascinating to me how this happens. Like back then there was like retro games, right? And people were all about retro games, and then like these like new age, like Gears of War introduced this new style where everything was very gritty and dark and gray. And then games come out and they try different things and then like evolve from there. But people are like, when retro games come out, have a retro feeling, like an old NES game you used to play. It has that NES style. People are really invested in it. And like, for instance, I think Rocksmith is coming back again, and people are all hyped about that. Like Rocksmith and like Rock Band is coming back. Like they're re-releasing Rock Band because like it came full circle. People got fucking tired of it, but that tired is now away, and people are like, can we get a new game? Like something? I'm bored. I want to play fucking Rock Band again.
The
They're
rhythm
like,
games
okay.
are coming back actually.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what's happening. It's just like things reset.
Yeah, I mean even shit like fucking haircuts and clothing
I was
styles.
just about to say that.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
fashion,
yeah. Like the 80s. Like
I feel
the 80s is coming back.
now like the hair like it's like almost like the 50s and 60s in a weird way.
when will it be acceptable to have a Hitler mustache again?
Never.
Yeah.
I think he knocked that out of the park for a little while. That's gonna sit on the
Because there was a
sidelines.
long period of time I remember
He did
when
kill,
having
like,
a
a
pop
few thousand
collar was
Jews.
really douchey and faggy. But I guess it's come back because you do it all the time.
It's 'cause
So
I'm cool. But like even the beard thing was having a beard was kind of not really itself for a while. It's like the last couple of years it's kind of come back.
oh, it's come back a lot.
lumbersexual?
It's come back quite a bit because of all the craft beer stuff.
Everything moves in cycles
I
basically.
thought they said beards.
I did say beards.
Oh, I thought you said beer.
No, you freak! I said beards.
Oh, well, there was a period when people were drinking a lot less beer. Sorry. Yeah, no, beards are coming back. I'm happy about that.
Next question.
I'm just waiting for back hair and neck hair to come back.
Shoulder hair is the worst.
Rocketman49 asks, Which cartoon do you guys personally feel has the best balance of both engaging story and visuals?
Looney
Of
Tunes.
ours?
Looney Tunes are great.
Of ours?
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
For story, though? Do you-
Yeah, because they don't even need to talk, and you like.
Tom,
root
you
for these
know the
guys.
story. Like, each
Yeah.
one has a plot. You can figure it out.
They don't even need to say words. It's just that's
Golden
it.
Boy.
I was watching.
Golden Boy.
That's a really good series.
That was great.
Wait, is the question pretty much good visuals, good story?
Which cartoon do you guys personally feel has the best balance of both engaging story and visuals?
Ghost in the
Golden
Shell.
Boy. Ninja Scroll.
I like Ninja Scroll.
A ton of animes.
I don't know, Akira?
Yeah, Kira or Ghost in the Shell.
Akira.
Is there any Western ones that you guys like?
Yeah, let's do it.
SpongeBob!
SpongeBob.
It's actually a good example. That has really
I'm on board with
Has a
SpongeBob.
really appealing art style.
All Real Monsters and Butt Ugly Martians.
I'll tell you. I think. What was the last one you said?
But I remember that had like one season, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's shitty either.
I
Classic.
think.
Good story plots really suck
I think.
you